Hello and welcome back, Funkoverse fans, for something a little different. I know you're used to the replays coming from my channel, but today we're going to mix it up and actually do a tier list. Now, in this video, I'm going to be looking at the DC100 pack with Batman, Batgirl, Joker, and Harley Quinn. In future videos, I might look at more packs because some are doubles and some are singles. And we'll see what future videos have, but this one I'm going to start with those four, so let's look at what they actually do, and then we'll throw them in a tier list, and man, let's see how it looks. So we're going to take a look at each character in Tabletop Simulator. If you're not familiar with Tabletop Simulator, leave a comment in here and we'll get you hooked up. But we're going to start with Batman here. Batman is the first character in the DC100 pack. He has 3 abilities that are red and blue. And then he gets 2 defense, and he gets an extra defense if he has 1 or more, or what is it, 2 or more rivals adjacent to him. So if he's on the board and he has 2 people next to him that are rivals, then if both these people are attacking him, he gets an extra defense. So that is his trait. Let's take a look at his first ability, Grappling Swing. Choose a rival within 3 that Batman can see and place Batman adjacent to him. Do a challenge 2 to them. So if Batman's on the board and he sees a rival within 3 squares that he can see, he gets placed adjacent to them and he challenges 2, which is 2 dice. That's his first ability. His second ability is POW, which is a red 2 on the cooldown. POW is a challenge 3, so if you're adjacent to somebody and you have the ability to challenge, you can spend a red token on the red 2 and you can roll 3 dice in a challenge. Batman's third ability, pretty important to Batman, which is a red 1, so you'd spend the red token on the 1, and it's called Relentless. Batman can do this while knocked down. You stand Batman up. So normally when you have a regular character like Batgirl, when Batgirl is knocked down from losing a challenge, she has to take both her abilities for that turn to stand herself up. If Batman's knocked down and you have this red token in your ability pool, you can spend the red token on 1 to stand Batman up with 1 of his 2 abilities. So you can stand up and you can still move 2 or choose any of his other abilities that he can do. Batman's pretty good. He's got mobility, he's got a little power, and he's got the ability to stand himself up, which is always very powerful. Not bad, Batman. Let's take a look at what Batgirl's got. Batgirl is blue-gray. Her trait is, if Batgirl's standing, she may move 1 square at the start of her turn. She's got a defense of 2. So, at the start of her turn, she gets that free square. As long as she's standing, she gets a free move. It's pretty powerful in game if you know anything about movement. Let's take a look at her first ability. It's a blue 3, so you take your blue token and spend it on the 3 of the cooldown track. And it's Flying Tackle. Move up to 3 squares towards a rival. If Batgirl ends this move adjacent to them, challenge them, rolling a number of dice equal to the squares moved in this action. So if Batgirl's on the map, and Joker is her rival, and he's 3 squares away, she can spend the Flying Tackle to move 1, 2, 3, and because she moved 3 squares, she gets 3 dice in challenge. If he's 2 squares away, and you spend the Flying Tackle, she moves 1, 2, you get 2 squares away, or you get 2 dice to challenge for 2 squares, and then if he is 1 square away, you get to move 1, challenge 1. So Flying Tackle is pretty good. You get to move and challenge, which is always very helpful. So if you can move, challenge, and give yourself that second ability to challenge again, maybe you can knock somebody out. Her second ability is Flip Kick. It is a challenge 2, move 1. So if you're standing next to a rival, You get to challenge 2, which is 2 dice, and then after the challenge is done, you can move 1. More movement-based stuff from the Batgirl. Gather Intel is a gray 2, so gray on the 2 of your cooldown. To move 1 and then give up to 2 allies the Intel status card. You don't have to be able to see the allies, it says. You just give them the card. And the Intel card is decrease ability cost by 1. Decrease this, discard this status when the character becomes exhausted. So, if you usually want Batgirl to go early in your turn to give out these Intel cards to your teammates in order to make their abilities cost 1. Because you do discard them back into your hand when the character holding the card is exhausted. So say Batman goes and is exhausted, and then Batgirl goes and gives out the Intel card. Batman gets to keep the card through till the next round. While if Joker had already gone, or if Joker hadn't gone yet and Batgirl went, in turn order, Batman went, Batgirl goes, gives the Intel card to Batman, and then Joker hasn't gone yet, he gets the Intel card. When he's exhausted, he has to discard the card. So going into the next round, Batman would keep the card because he hasn't been exhausted with the card yet, but Joker had the card when he was exhausted, so he discards it. Pretty cool. I like being able to pay 1 less for my my abilities. Let's take a look at Joker. The Joker has mystery boxes, and he's a red-gray with a 2 defense. And when he's knocked out, he can place these mystery boxes in the square that he's knocked out on. Right? Yep. So when Joker is knocked over and then loses a second challenge and knocked out, he places a bomb in the square. Now, any rivals that come into contact with the bomb by either moving through it or getting pushed onto it or being manipulated onto the bomb, anybody who any rival who interacts with the bomb gets challenged 4 from the Joker immediately. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're a rival and you land on the bomb, you got 4 dice coming your way, making bombs very dangerous. The Joker's first move, Mystery Box, is move 2, and you can place one of these mystery boxes in a square the Joker can see within 2. And it also tells you that it's a challenge 4 if rivals go into the square. So, you can move 2, 1, 2, and then place the bomb in any square within 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, anywhere within 2 that you can see. Maybe not there, but here for sure. Alright, his second ability is a 3 gray, so 3 gray. And it is Bang. Remove 1 or more mystery boxes from the map. Do a challenge 3 to rivals adjacent to mystery boxes you remove. So if you have Batgirl as your rival, you can spend the gray token on the 3 to blow up 1 or more of these mystery boxes and get a challenge 3 instead of the forced 4 from if they're dodging your mystery boxes and they end near it, you can force blow up the mystery boxes to force a challenge 3 instead of get the 4 challenge from them stepping in it. Pretty cool. Joker's final ability here is an easy red 1 challenge 3. So kind of like Batman's challenge 3 with POW, except it's a 1 red instead of a 2, but the target must be standing. So they're trading 1 on the cooldown for the target must be standing. You can't knock anybody out with this, but you can knock them over with it. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it doesn't really give you any power to knock anybody out necessarily, but if you're placing the bombs, he does have pretty good power. So you can move to Joy Buzzer somebody down and then blow them up with a bomb, or give yourself a normal challenge 2 for the normal basic challenge to knock somebody out. And that's the Joker. Pretty interesting in certain game types, like a territory. You can set up the bombs in the territory and make somebody's day very miserable. Let's look at our last character from the expansion. It is Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is red-gray, a 2 defense, and her trait is when Harley Quinn stands up, she may do a basic challenge. So if you knock Harley Quinn over and you're not able to knock her out, she can challenge you when she gets back up. So you really want to be able to take her out if you're going to attack her at all. Because getting challenged just without them using an ability it's kind of a pain. Giving somebody extra basic challenges is sometimes unnecessary. Her first ability here is a 2 red, so a red token on the 2 of your cooldown whenever you would spend it. And when you spend that 2 on the red, you do a basic challenge to each adjacent rival. So it's kind of an AoE attack. So if these 3 are your rivals, a whole enemy team, and Harley Quinn was here, if you spend the red 2 on the cooldown, she gets to take turns attacking each one of these in turn, each one of her rivals in turn. So that's pretty good. If you win all those challenges, I mean, it's just a basic it is a basic challenge, so it's just 2 dice. But in certain situations, if you can roll a crit and get lucky, and you can knock everybody down, you can do this twice. If you have 2, you can AoE challenge everybody and potentially knock everybody out in 1 turn, which would be an incredible play. But the potential's there. Her second ability is Feign Distress. You spend a 2 cooldown with the gray token. And you choose a rival Harley can see. You roll 3 dice. For each success, pull the target 1 square. So, say Harley was on the map. Batman is my rival. I roll 3 dice, it says. 1, 2, 3. And I got 2 hits, so that's 2 successes. I can pull Batman 2 squares. So if you combo that with Joker and you had the bombs like this, you could pull Batman through here. He would be challenged by the bombs, and then you pull him another square, and he's pulled into that bomb as well. So you can use the pull in combo, or you can use the pull to get somebody, say this was the territory, you can pull them 2 squares out of the territory, making their life pretty miserable. So she's got an AoE, she's got a pull. What else does she have? Harley Quinn's final ability. Move an adjacent rival 1 square, move Harley up to 2. For a 1 red, it's called Out of My Way. So, if Harley Quinn's here, Joker is the adjacent rival. You can move Joker out of the way if you're trying to get down this hallway here. If you're trying to get down this hallway, you can move Joker 1 and then move Harley up to 2 here. So out of my way. So you move somebody and then you move in where you want to go. Very interesting. She's good for flags, for territories. She's very good. I wouldn't count Harley Quinn out of anything. So there's our 4 characters from this pack. All 4 are very good. I don't see any real weaknesses with any of them. We have movement and power, high movement with a little power from the flying tackle if you can get spacing right, with some gather intel to make things cost less. The Joker is a zone king. He will zone you out as fast as he can and make it hard for you to get into spaces. And Harley Quinn has movement with red tokens instead of the blue. And being able to feign distress and pull somebody is a good mechanic to make her a strong ally. Let's take a look at the tier list here. We're gonna give Batman. We're gonna give Batman. I'm gonna say for right now, we're gonna put him in the A's because he can stand, he can move, he has power. We're gonna give Batgirl also an A for movement. I think we put Harley Quinn in the same... I think these are all A's. I'm not 100% sure that this is wrong. I think it definitely goes in this order. Batman, Batgirl, Harley Quinn, Joker. But I think all of these characters, if you had a chance to pick them, you would not be upset with picking any of them. Having the combo maybe a little more with Joker instead of Batman being just like an individual powerhouse might be different in your character specs with your other two picks if you're playing 3v3. But I think if you're picking one individual character, I think this is the order that I would pick them in. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to do more tier lists like this. Like I said, I'm not sure how many characters I'm going to do in each one. But here's a good start with the DC100 pack. I hope to see you guys in my next Funkoverse video. And till then, lucky rolling.